This explanation is about how to enter in the future value functions in Excel, and to do that I'm showing it with example number 9 in the Mapletea homework from lesson number 9. Okay, so the first thing is, it says suppose you have $600 to invest in a savings plan and you want to compare 4 different ways you could invest the money. The first one is find the balance after 1 year if you deposit all of the money into an account that pays $2.50 in simple interest each month. This is a simple interest equation where the amount of interest stays the same each month. Round the answer to the nearest cent. So I've taken all of the information from this question for the 4 different options. In the first one, I've just written down everything that I gleaned so that I make sure that I understand the problem. The first thing is that it tells me that there's $600 and that's being put into an account. We're going to find the balance after 1 year. It's earning only $2.50 every month for 12 months and we want the total. So I have a way, I could just do this with some intuition, or I can use this formula right here, which is the present value with how much money you're getting. You don't need to memorize that, so a lot of you might get really concerned about needing to memorize this formula. On the review and the exam, you will be given the formulas so that you don't need to memorize this. And I actually don't memorize this formula because I think it's kind of intuitive. The total is, I'm going to be getting the $600 because I put that into the account. And then I'm going to add whatever is going to be added into the account. I was told that I will get $2.50 in this account, so I'm going to cell reference that. And I get this $2.50 every single month. So I need to multiply that by how many times I get it, which is 12 times. 12 times is the same as 1 year, so I don't need to times it by year, but I could go ahead and reference the year just in case it asked me to find the total after 3 years, because then I would get that $2.50 for 36 months because it would be 3 years and I need to make sure it's multiplied. Because it's a 1, I don't have to, but for future reference just in case. So press enter. There's my total after 1 year with the simple interest question. Okay, so the next one is find the balance after 1 year if you deposit all the money into an account that pays 5% APR with monthly compoundings. So this is a lump sum deposit. The formula you were given is here. And again, I don't need to memorize this. In fact, you don't even need to memorize it after the class because you have Excel. And to calculate this, we're going to just do a future value. I prefer, it's just my own preference, to do the negative in front because this one is going to be the total in the account afterwards, so I want the number to be positive. There's also the option of putting the negative in the payment or the present value depending on the situation. I just do it at the beginning. So it's your own preference, and some of you will choose to put it later, some of you will choose to put it at the beginning. It's up to you. Okay, so now that I have the future value, it prompts me down here what I need to type into it for it to calculate the function. So I need to go find the rate. I have it right here as 5%. And don't forget, we're dividing it by compounds, which is 12, then comma. The number of periods, it's going to be 12 times a year, times how many years. Now, it's only 1 year, again, just like the first one, but just in case on the review or the exam, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that one as well, just in case it changes for 3 years or 7 years. Then payment, I'm not making monthly payments, so I'm going to do a 0 here. And the present value is just our lump sum. Whoops. The, sorry, payment, I didn't put a comma, and the lump sum is $600. And then now I can do enter. I can go ahead and close the parenthesis to close it off, but Excel has enough information that it's okay just to press enter. And that's what we will earn in a lump sum future value for this one that's compounded 5%, compounding monthly. Okay, the next one, again, I'm going to do negative future value just because that's my preference. And then I'm going to put the 5%. Some of you might be asking, can I go ahead and just type 5%? And we can. I'll show you that in just a minute. Divide it by 12, comma. Now I need the number of periods. It's 12 times a year times how many years. Again, because this is 1, I don't have to do the times 1, but just in case something changes for your next ones. Then comma and reference. In this one, I am making payments of $50. I had somebody ask about this, saying, wait a minute, it says that I'm starting with $600, and down here it says $50. $50 for the whole 12 months ends up being the $600. So what they've done is they've taken that $600 and spread that over the whole year of adding it into the account. So that ends up being $600, just in case you're wondering, because the present value is 0. It is not a lump sum. If you're worried about that, 12 times 50, that shows you that it's $600 spread throughout the entire year. And the last one is like option 2 and 3 added together, and you'll see, and remember in the textbook that it and the video that it is both of these formulas together. So Excel is dramatically easier than doing this by hand, by just typing it in instead of having this huge formula. And to be honest, you will probably only use Excel once the class is over, but just so that you can see it, I'm going to make a second video so that you can also see going through these functions one by one and adding those in, that it still works. So we're going to do negative future value, my preference, the rate, 5%, don't forget to divide by n, comma, the number of periods, 12 times a year, times the number of year. Again, it's just 1 year, so I could have left it. Then I'm going to go to, sorry about that. Okay, so we get the payment is next. We're doing $25 for every month, and you'll notice that it's just like the previous example. The $600 is being broken up into a lump sum and a payment, so that after a year, that's the $600 is spread out over that year. So we have our present value of $300, and we are good. I think we have everything in there. Okay, so those are the 4 different options using Excel, and we could go ahead and type those in and press how did I do. And the next video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the equations.